Mr. Al Simmons, well, normally we see you on stage, but you're grooving to the groove here at the Winnipeg Folk Festival. I think you have to incorporate the tuba into your next act.
The tuba, I could think of the stuff I could stuff into that tuba. I'm actually surprised you recognize me. I'm in disguise. I have my dark glasses on. There we are.
I know. Well, you know, you kind of stick out a little bit with the shirt and the long pants.
There we are.
You know, you're not like some of these people running around half naked.
Oh yes, I'm going to get some of those little twirly butterflies on my nipples, but yeah, perhaps later.
Oh, I just wanted to ask you though, what did you think of Boom Pam?
Oh, I love this group. They're fantastic.
Yeah.
Especially when he's hoisting his tuba over his head and all of that
amazing.
stuff.
Yeah. All the way from Israel, right here at the Winnipeg Folk Festival. But
they're going to be on the main stage tonight. I'm quite looking forward to that. And that one guy, everybody's telling me you got to see that one guy. I haven't seen him yet.
And he's not here yet.
I know.
Hopefully he gets in here.
Any moment now he's supposed to arrive, and they're going to whisk him over to this stage.
Oh,
and then
I'm sure. I could see similarities between that one guy and this one guy here.
And I think he's on tonight on the main stage, so I'm looking forward to that.
Checking it out.
Yeah.
What brings you here to the Folk Festival, though, really?
Well, I haven't missed a festival, whether I come as a participant or an audience member. I haven't missed one for I don't know how many years, 30 years, whatever. And but quite often I'm away. I'm working at other festivals. This year I'm here, have a year off, this weekend off, and I get to watch. And my favorite thing to do, I like wandering. I like going, oh, I got to get here to see this, and there to see that, and there to see that. But I like coming and just settling at one stage and watch the entire show at one stage. There's never a bad act. The performers that are hired for this event are spectacular.
Yeah, they certainly are. So there you go. It's Al Simmons' tip of the day. Stay at one stage the whole day.
And that way you discover something new, stuff you never thought you'd see. Just stay in. They're all great.
All right. Okay, Al, you can go bust a move now. The band's back on.
Hey, great. I'm going to get some of those.
Yes.
Okay.
I know. Go. Our Shaw TV continuous coverage of the 2007 Winnipeg Folk Festival continues.
Hi, I'm Mary Riddell from Lundar, Manitoba, and this is year number 14 for me for the Folk Festival. And some of my favorite memories are the years that my children were volunteering and got in on some of the jam sessions in the campground. And my favorite performers that I've seen, Ian Tyson, Emmylou Harris. And this year I was really impressed by Jill Barber from Halifax. She's great, so I'm going over to see her concert right now.
Left to do but go thrift shopping with you. We'll sit on the musty couches, but before we do, I'll flip the cushions upside down for you. And I see your hair spinning up and down, and I see your hair spinning round and round, and I see you look up on the ground and underneath the shelves just to make sure that you didn't miss anything else. And we stumble across one of my old t-shirts. No, it wasn't my style 2 years ago, but now it is, so I buy it back, and we laugh, and we laugh, and laugh. Ha 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 ha. We laugh and laugh. Ha 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 ha. And I see your hair bobbing up and down, and I see your hair spinning round and round, and I see you look up on the ground and underneath the shelves just to make sure you didn't miss anything else. And we stumble across the section with the old trophies. Tell me please, and now why would someone buy these to create a fictional life? You reply, So we both pick up one to buy, and we're feeling high, living a lie as a bowling champion and a shot put guy. Yeah, we're feeling high, living a lie as a bowling champion and a shot put guy. And you say you've always wanted a fondue set, and this one's only $5.99. We'll clean out the grime, it'll be just fine, and we'll be eating fondue in no time. And I see your hair bobbing up and down, and I see your hair has been wrapped down around, and I see you look up on the ground and underneath the shelves just to make sure you didn't miss anything else.
You're watching continuous folk festival coverage only on Shaw TV.
So we're outside the Shady Grove stage, and this is where the kids congregate outside the showers to play in the mud. I wish I was 8 again, because I'm so hot I would be doing the same. We just want to give you a bit of a montage from a set in the Shady Grove. It's The Places I Remember, and we've got songs from Stephen Fearing, Carrie Latimer from Nathan, Local Girl, of course, and Death Vessel. We talked to Death Vessel off camera about, it's Joel Thibodeau, and Death Vessel is what he performs under. About his name, it seemed a little odd for folk festival. He told me that he has different answers every time, but today he just feels that death is one of those underappreciated parts of life. It's an organic part of life, and he's hoping to get that message across with his name, Death Vessel. So here's some highlights from The Places I Remember at Shady Grove.
Our founding fathers built this town, and they named it for God's Son. On Sundays it was fine clothes for everyone, but on Mondays when the gloves came off, there was always hell to pay. On the other side of Jesus, nearly half the world away. You and me, we learned to sing as soon as we could run, and we left that town like buckshot from a gun, and we flew with our ambitions and our faded black berets to the other side of Jesus, nearly half a world away. Money comes and money goes like water through my hands. All money spills like blood upon the land. Money finds a sacred place and rolls the stone away. Concrete in the fields and the northern lights are fading.
Whether he's a button-tail or longing for a vaudeville,
Jeff Vessel.
You're watching 24-hour Folk Fest coverage exclusively on Shaw TV, Channel 9.
Welcome to our 2007 continuous coverage of the Winnipeg Folk Festival. I was just taking a little breather, a little nap, a little break from the heat in this wonderful mobile home of Jacob and Lily, Carla Adolph and Caleb Friesen. Thank you so much for having me inside here.
You're very welcome.
Okay, but Carla, the real reason why you're here is?
Because it's air conditioned and I can use my own bathroom.
Oh, a
But
shame
don't
on you.
tell anyone.
Yes, yes. But so the other stars of the folk festival can come in here.
Yeah, it's being used as a green room, and although we're not back here when it's being used as a green room, because that would be annoying, because we'd be all geeky. But it was great. We offered it to the Folk Fest, and they took it, and it's been really good because it's really roomy. And we had Michael Franti and Spearhead was in here last night.
Let's see.
He signed a book.
Oh.
So it's very exciting. Just it's cool, you know, that you can sort of contribute things that, you know, we all have something to contribute to the festival, and this is what we have, and it's great.
It is very great. And the new CD is now done, so are a few of these lying around just sort of up for
Definitely.
grabs?
Yeah, just lying around different places, you know.
Yeah.
We didn't want to do that. That was a little tacky. You know?
Yeah, Caleb did, though.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you about that. I put some stickers on the main stage. No, I didn't.
So what's been a highlight so far for you, Caleb?
Man, I've been surprised by a lot of actually the smaller acts, like a lot of the tweeners. There's a guy who played exactly like Bob Dylan, who only did 2 songs, and I was Indio
Saravanjaya.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't even know if that's the right way to say his name, but he was great.
Yeah, it was incredible being impacted by one guy with a guitar when mostly, you know, you'd think that you'd be impacted by the full bands, but I think that was one of my great moments so far for sure. Was Indio, he was great.
And just being here, being around in this kind of musical atmosphere, inspiring for you?
Oh, for sure. I just saw Penny Lang, and I don't have a lot of artists that like choke me up, but for some reason, I don't know, just every song she sang, her voice just made me want to bawl my face off, and I was like, I love this lady. So yeah, I just feel like I want to write songs based on, you know, hearing different rhythms, hearing different styles of songs, going to a songwriting workshop, just to hear and learn different things. And yeah, it's nice when you can utilize a festival for more than just receiving entertainment, but actually for us as musicians to meet some people. Like Caleb met the percussionist from the Ducks, and they just were talking about gear, you know. And so for us, it kind of, there's another level of enjoyment. There's just the natural and entertainment value, but then to meet colleagues, or wannabe colleagues, really. Wannabe colleagues. It's very exciting for us.
And who knows, you guys, maybe one day you'll be up there on the main stage. The Ducks just played. Maybe next year, Jacob and Lily.
See what happens.
Can you make that happen?
I'll try. Well, you let me come here all the time, then
Okay.
I'll work on
Deal.
it. Okay, deal and done. Our 2007 Folk Festival coverage continues.
So my favorite folk festival memory is probably quite recent, 2005 festival, Sunday night, with Emula Harris and Daniel Lanois collaborating together on the main stage, doing The Maker, while big high winds, about 80-kilometer winds, came rushing in through the site, and we averted a pretty much a massive thunderstorm that night. So that's probably one of my most favorite memories recently.
You're watching continuous Folk Festival coverage only on Shaw TV.
You have a charming smile, but you make the silliest faces. And your hair doesn't sit right on the top of your head, but I'd still take you places. And I don't like your clothes or how you talk about stuff nobody knows and probably don't care about. And your eyes could be a lighter shade of blue than mine, but they'll do. You break your promises even more than I go out gentlemen. They're not gentlemen. Musicians aren't gentlemen. They're not gentlemen. And you fake sentiments, live in lights on stage. And those girls will always change, but the songs about them stay the same. And you could lie out your little brains and tell me stories through your teeth, and I will live here in memories of what could have been. You break your promises even more than I go out these days. It's the music, I know it is, why I find reasons to stay. Musicians aren't gentlemen. They're not gentlemen. Musicians aren't gentlemen. They're not gentlemen. No, no, no. Musicians aren't gentlemen. They're not gentlemen. Thank you.
Favorite memory of Folk Fest is learning how to play hand drums my first year. Just going up to the Folks Hill Thursday night, picking up a drum and not putting it down till Monday morning.
Welcome to Tarpland. People are now getting their best spots for the main stage, but one of the best acts, and I do say best, truly the best, at the Winnipeg Folk Festival is Bwella. What a beautiful name, and this is Niall and Kevin, all the way from Ireland. Welcome to Winnipeg, and thank you for bringing Bwella to the festival.
Oh, well, we're delighted to be here, you know. This is our first time in Winnipeg, like, you know, and it's been great so far, anyway.
I have a hard time trying to explain the music, so I'll let you, Kevin, explain what Bwella is all about.
Essentially, it's traditional Irish music, but it's not traditional in that it's all newly composed, and there's sort of influences from outside, sort of jazz and rock and stuff. And
very well-known concertina player passed through Winnipeg called Noel Hill. I thought he was the greatest, but he stands to be contested with you now.
Oh, well, thanks very much.
It's a beautiful instrument.
It is, you know, and it's sort of unusual here, you know. It's, I mean, even in Ireland, it's kind of within traditional music, even it's pretty much a sort of a minority pursuit, but it's a nice thing, you know. It's a pretty versatile sort of little instrument, you know, and I kind of enjoy trying to kind of broaden out what it can actually do, you know. So it's good fun that way.
And speaking of traditional Irish music, I mean, it's true to the hearts of the Irish. How are they taking your sound in your own home country?
Yeah, it's been no problem so far. Like.
Don't riot.
No. I sort of good. I mean, you know, most people are sort of fairly open-minded and kind of listen to lots of music anyway, like, you know, so, you know, it's not too hard to take us. You know? There's probably people doing much worse than us.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think as well, like a lot of the bands that play Irish music, and some of them play sort of more less traditional sounding things or whatever, but most of us have all sort of grown up in the tradition, so to speak. You know, like we learned music from our parents, and you know, sort of traditional music is kind of like at the heart of what we do and what we are. You know, so in a way, when taken in that context, then when you try to do something a little bit different with it, like, you know, there's people don't feel as though you're sort of disrespecting it or anything like that, you know.
Exactly.
I mean, there's the odd person who sees it as some sort of a moral issue or something, like, you know, but most normal people, like, just, you know, it's just music of some sort, you know.
Well, that's the real beauty of this festival, because nobody stakes a claim on a certain sound, and each year it becomes more and more eclectic.
Yeah, we've just come from a stage with a saw player, a theremin player, a tabla, a harmonium, a concertina, and that's about bagpipes and a didgeridoo.
Oh.
So
yeah,
that's eclectic as it gets, I think.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah, I think I was possibly one of the most bizarre hours I've ever spent, musically speaking anyway, you know, but it was great.
And what do you think of the festival so far, Kevin?
Oh, it's been great. No, I mean, everything about it. I mean, the organisation is class, and hospitality is great. All the acts we've seen so far are great, and the weather's been great.
Oh, I know.
You know, so it's great so far. Yeah.
A little unusual to have this heat and humidity, but for the folks out there now, one last word about, well, why should they buy the CD and why should they listen to your music?
That's a good question. I think it's kind of, it has some sort of an infectious thing that people seem to like, you know. I mean, it's kind of, it's dance music in one way and it's listening music in another way. I mean, I'm useless at answering that question.
Well, you did a very good job. Welcome to the Winnipeg Folk Festival, and thank you for bringing your music here.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a minute.
Hey guys, I'm Shaw TV's Jeff Bromley, standing here in front of the beer tent. It's like calling me. It's just calling me. I can hear voices. There's nobody in there right now, but I can still hear voices. I should probably get that checked. Anyways, we wanted to ask you guys, if I was to ask you the first word that came to mind when I say Winnipeg Folk Festival, what would you say? What's the thing you like the most about it? I'd probably say, if it was one word, beer gardens. That's 2 words.
Hippies. Definitely the hippies, yeah.
Armpit hair, possibly.
Great.
Great.
Isn't that creative?
One word that comes to mind for you.
The people.
Yeah?
People.
Scrumptious.
He's eating.
Rejuvenating.
Rejuvenating. Wow.
Jamming together, having a good time.
That's like 10 words, dude.
Food.
Food. How about you, man?
Memories, man. Memories.
And some that we probably will never remember.
Yeah, exactly. Here's to those. Cheers.
But they were good, though.
They were good.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
One word?
Yeah.
Safe.
Safe. I haven't heard that one yet. That's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks. That's my word.
I'm Lana Wren. I live in Carmen, Manitoba, and my favorite thing about the Folk Festival is being here with my friends, listening to the music, and the fact that the festival is for everyone, all ages, and you can sit down and talk to anybody from across Canada or the U.S. and just have a great time.
know if the TV can capture that. I think you may have had to have been there. That was the most amazing jam I've seen at Folk Festival ever. This is the Elmer Ferrer. Can you pronounce that for me properly?
Ferrer.
Band. And could you just introduce everybody for us?
Yeah, this is Anders Drerup, the singer and guitar of the group. This is Ronnie Barreto, drummer, and Roberto Riveron is the bass player.
You guys were absolutely phenomenal, and it looked like you were having so much fun up there.
Oh yeah, for sure we had.
I have to ask the singer, stunning, beautiful woman with this voice, and she seemed to really get everybody going and get everyone playing together.
Indeed, yeah, she's something else.
Yeah. So I have to ask, you guys obviously from Cuba, you're from Ottawa. How did y'all hook up?
About 2 years ago, you guys were recording Fango Dance, right? Yeah. And in the production, they decided it would be a good idea to have some English vocalists, so got a few people to audition, and ultimately here I am. So.
And touring a lot?
Yeah, in the past few months, we've been doing a lot of touring, so.
So what's been the highlight? I know probably one of the highlights for you career-wise has to be jamming with Sting in Havana. That must have been amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing to meet one star like him, no? And I played just one song with him, but it was very fun, very exciting for me. Yeah.
So highlight-wise, playing with Sting, all these folk festivals, jamming with these amazing musicians, like you must just keep getting better and better and having more and more fun?
Yeah, for sure. Always it's better to, it's very good to be in tour. We had like 10 concerts and 10 more, and it's great to play with these guys in every festival, no?
Absolutely, and
playing with you too,
buddy. For you, what's playing with these amazing musicians from another country, and obviously it's going to add to what you already know about the blues and all that. How's it been for you, kind of melding with these players?
I'd have to say the biggest difference is the education. These guys have all been trained from a fairly young age to do what they do. And I picked up a guitar at 16 because I kind of like Pink Floyd. So there's definitely a bit of a switch over there. But the greatest thing is I learn something new every time I get on stage with these guys.
I just want to comment about, I'm going to mispronounce her name, but Nadini, who was on stage, such an incredibly sexy singer. And does that happen a lot, that women are dancing like that with you when you're playing?
No, she's great.
Amazing. I also have to comment, as we were taping, I noticed so many other musicians in the audience, like moths to a flame. All the other musicians are coming to see you, so I guess that's got to be a pretty good sign that you guys are doing amazing when you're the talk of all the other musicians.
Well, you know, we just...
There's no response to that.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, we're going to let the music speak for you guys. And again, I hope at home you can get the feel for this, because Tanner, who's on camera, and I were just, like, we're still on a high from watching you guys. It was amazing, and we're going to leave you with a bit of the jam. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
You can't take me, baby. Hit me right. You love me, baby, all day and night. You can't take me till I don't want no more.
Hi, I'm Marilyn Fitzjohn, and I've been coming to Folk Fest for many years. My favorite thing about Folk Fest is watching new artists and some returnees, and I also have a young son who's 27. He's into the music and played it with the young performers. Grant, can I give a plug? Davidson, why not? He's here, so it's a good family time, and we usually get together with family here. So that's what I like.
Dizzying time flies by me with nowhere to go. And each day that passes, I'm one more year old. And 18 years later, this is where I actually am. And in 18 more years, that's where I'll actually be then. 'Cause it turns out the stars have been brightly misleading. All I see is dark now that they're gone completely. And I have lost the one thing that was my life's everything. And without it, I'm only half full. I'm still laughing, still talking, dead but still walking, and living without a soul. But why, God, did you give me such a need for it? What can I do? It's too strong to ignore it. And I have lost the one thing that was my life's everything. Now without it, I'm only half full. I'm still laughing, still talking, dead but still walking, and living without a soul. Living without a soul.
You're watching continuous folk festival coverage only on Shaw TV.
What I like about the Winnipeg Folk Festival are the magic moments, and we just experienced a magic moment with Boom Pam. First of all, welcome guys to Winnipeg. It's hot, it's sunny, all the way from Israel. You have an amazing sound, Uri.
Well, what's so amazing about it?
It's, I don't know, like to be here on the tuba rocking and then with you guys on guitars. I know it's not unusual for you, but it's unusual for us.
I guess that's what comes up in Israel when, you know, a bunch of musicians get together and start playing stuff, you know, with a lot of influences from all over the world, because all of the Jewish immigrants from... Yeah.
So how much do you take from your ethnic backgrounds to base it and to make it Boom Pam, Uzi?
Well, I guess everything. I don't know what is our ethnical background because everybody's got like different influences, like jazz, rock, classical, and otherwise folk, country. So each of us brings different colors into this band.
I have to admit, I've never seen a tuba played like that before.
Thank you, thanks.
I bet you get that all the time.
Yeah, I hear it sometimes, but I'm just trying to do like other unusual stuff with the tuba, and I hope that other tuba players will follow.
Exactly. David, you're on the drums, and yes, you do have the jazz influence. We just finished a huge jazz festival here, and I have to say, drummers are the unsung hero, and which I think you are in the band.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Yeah.
So, playing with these guys, what is it like?
It's great fun, you know, it's a lot of energy and people are dancing and having fun, so it's just, you know, keeping the beat is great with these guys.
What are some of your influences? Who do you listen to musically?
Kulthum.
And who is that?
It's an Egyptian singer.
Ah, so that's really what's in your car right now, what you listen to when you go out?
I don't have a car, but yeah. Actually, in the car, we just listen to White Stripes.
They were just here.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. Missed them, yes. Yeah.
You shouldn't tell us about this.
Oh,
but we got to see Bob Dylan a few days ago in Montreal.
What was that like for you?
Amazing. I was like shivering all over.
Oh, well, this year it's Randy Newman at the festival.
Yeah, we won't be here, lamentably.
So whereabouts have you traveled to in the world? Where have you been?
Pardon?
Where have you been?
Mostly in Europe, in the United States, and we've just been to Mexico 2 months ago, which was really great. We play a really big festival over there.
Very cool.
It's really nice.
So David, what do you think so far of our festival?
It's an amazing festival. It's so big and it's outdoors in the nature and it's so green and everything is so beautiful. And it's also very well organized. And I think the crowd is amazing. They're so accepting, you know, and so open-minded. I realize this is so different for them, and yet immediately there's a connection. So it's great people.
Tubi, one last question.
Sure.
How did Boom Pam? Where'd you get the name from?
It's the name of a Greek song by a Greek singer called Arisan. He immigrated to Israel, became a rock star in Israel during the 70s, and we just got some influence from his music and his playing. And his name is Arisan.
You said that, he got that in?
Yeah, and that's it. We also believe that it means the heartbeats, Boom Pam.
Very romantic.
Very romantic, yes. We're very inspired by you guys. Welcome to Winnipeg, and definitely the band to see, Boom Pam.
Thank you.
The final day of the 2007 Folk Festival is Sunday, July 8th, and here is your main stage lineup. It starts off with Tomani Dabadi's Symmetric Orchestra. Next, an unbelievable treat you won't want to miss, the incredible throat-singing foursome called Chirgilchin from southern Siberia. They will knock your sandals off. Then it's time for La Bamba with Los Lobos. Chris Smither keeps the night flowing with his finger-picked acoustic guitar work. And finally, the act to close out the Folk Festival for this year, it is Randy Newman. That is Sunday's main stage lineup, and that is your 2007 Winnipeg Folk Fest.
Full is in full swing. Now, the actual festival may be out at Bird's Hill, but its kickoff had people here in the Exchange District tapping their feet over the lunch hour yesterday. That's when the Folk Fest kicked off at Old Market Square with a performance from the John Jorgensen Quintet. Festival coordinators say having the festival begin in the city is a good way to generate festival buzz.
put on a little bit of entertainment for people in the city, and act as a bit of a stimulant to get people primed for the weekend's festival and the music, and to enjoy a little bit while they're here, and maybe prompt them to come out to Birds Hill.
The only campsites still available are in the quiet campground. But if you want to head out to the Folk Fest this weekend, there are day passes and weekend music passes available. You can get those at the park gates or by calling Ticketmaster. And that's the news for...
And just music.
Well, Janet, you can see there are stilt walkers here, and over to my right we have an aerial dance troupe. They're called High Strong Aerial Dance Troupe, and they're actually performing here tonight by the Firefly tent. Now, even if you don't like folk music, there is so much for you and your family to do. It's actually quite incredible the amount of programming that they have here for children. For example, the Manitoua Bay, they have a village here. You can make a drum and join a drum circle. Art City is here as well, and they're making all sorts of wonderful costumes and different masks for a parade that they're having on Sunday. Of course, if you are coming down, it is hot, but there's a little bit of a breeze coming in, so be prepared for the heat. And I will be back later in the show with a wonderful world musician. Her name is Kieran Alawalia.
My pleasure, Janet.
Still to come on CBC News at 6.
Hi, I'm Jenny back at Birds Hill Park. Musician Kieran Alawalia has lived in India, United States, New Zealand, and in Canada, and now she's in Winnipeg for the Folk Festival. After the break, hear her songs of Urdu poetry. That's right here on CBC News at 6.
Morning at 3 Eastern on CBC.
About 45,000 people are expected to head out to Birds Hill Park this weekend for the Winnipeg Folk Festival. They will take in more than 250 acts, including this musician. Kieran Alawalia. CBC's Jenny Beth was there to chat with her today.
So Kieran, you're a wonderful performer. What do you think of the Winnipeg Folk Festival crowd?
I love the Winnipeg Folk Festival crowd. I was here in 2002, the first time. And I wasn't sure. I was just starting my career in music in Canada, doing Indian music in Canada, and I wasn't sure whether people were liking it, and I was doing a tweener on the main stage, and I said, would you guys like to hear a Punjabi folk song? And 8,000 people yelled out, yes! And so here I am, back for a full set on the main stage. Yeah.
That's wonderful. So you lived all around the world, but you were raised in Toronto. How are you first introduced to your culture's music?
I was pretty much introduced as a baby to my music. My parents are both ghazal singers, which is what I sing, ghazal, which are love songs. And so they sang ghazals while I was a baby, and they enrolled me in Indian music school, and so just got it at home, really.
And did you perform a lot in your parents' basement and that sort of thing?
Yeah, they had parties, and everyone would sing. They would take turns singing, much like a workshop stage. And it would be my turn, and as a young little girl, even since the age of 5, I was singing songs in little parties.
Now, you don't have a typical musician's resume. You studied industrial relations in university, and you have your MBA. So how did you decide to come back and pursue a music career?
Well, I had been doing music part-time ever since I was a little girl, and then part-time through high school, part-time through university, and part-time through my MBA in finance. And so after I got my finance MBA, I was trading bonds on Bay Street.
And in a power suit?
In a power suit, yes, in a very manly blue-colored power suit and a white shirt and pantyhose and all that icky stuff. And I just hated it. I purely hated it. And I remember after about half a year, about 6 months, I was downstairs on Bay Street in Toronto having my lunch on a concrete bench in a concrete park. And I was thinking, you know, I don't want to go up to the 32nd floor anymore. I just want to walk home. And my home was about 8 hours away in Markham, and I was working downtown. And I thought, okay, well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to leave. And so I left that job, and I fell into doing music full-time.
And you studied all in India?
My music studies, they started in India when I was 5 years old, and then when we immigrated to Canada when I was 9, I continued studying music. And then as an adult, I went back for many, many years to study full-time in music in India.
Right, wonderful. Well, best of luck tonight on the main stage, and thank you very much for this.
Thank you, Jenny.
Festival runs all weekend. Go to winnipegfolkfestival.ca for the schedule and more. And here's a look at what else is going on this weekend.
Don't take it to Atlanta. Man, take away from you. They're taking my woman and it cut me to the bone. Cut me bad. Asia's crowded, Europe's too old. Africa's far too hot, and Canada's too cold.
Got stuck in the Ford, got stuck, got the Chevron stuck when the Dodge showed up, but the Dodge got stuck in the tractor rut, which eventually pulled out the Ford.
Folk Festival kicks off tonight, but the campgrounds in Birds Hill Park are already buzzing. The festival campground is sold out, and there are only spots left in the quiet camp. Laurel Clark caught up with some of the seasoned campers in their pursuit of the perfect site.
They line up in droves, by car, wagon, and on foot. It's all in pursuit of one of these, prime real estate in the Birds Hill Park campground.
I think everybody regulars kind of know where approximately they want to set up, so we always try to be the first ones there and get a picnic table and a fire pit.
With more than 5,000 campers expected in this campground alone, the early birds are taking advantage of this prairie field's biggest asset.
There's not a lot of shade here. It's a hot commodity.
Doug Darling has been coming to the festival for more than a decade. He says the key to nabbing a good site is finding shade.
I have a tough time with the heat, and I think a lot of people do. But to get shade, and same as in the festival too, people just, they clamor to it.
Nearby Darling's camp, some ambitious festival goers are finding a unique way to beat the heat. They're building a 75-foot-long rocket ship.
We did a Coliseum one year, we did a barn after that, we've done 2 castles so far, so we try to change it up.
But if you're a latecomer and can't find shade, there are other ways to stay safe in camp.
Bringing whatever they need as far as to make sure that their safety, and of course to make sure that they keep healthy by being watered, well watered, make sure they bring their bug spray and hats.
Because let's face it, not everyone will have a rocket ship for protection.
We're still building a rocket ship, right? Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Laurel Clark, City News.
A $2. This is Lindsay Jane playing on the tweener set that's in between the big sets on the main stage, and she is from Manitoba, as you know if you watch Shaw TV, because we profiled her. Shaw TV's Tracy Koga interviewed her last week on Shaw TV. The dance area behind me here, a few people sway into Lindsay, but it will be a sea of humanity later tonight. This dance area is always one of the most fun parts of the folk festival. Now Lindsay, just so you know, is going to be playing on the smaller stages Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and definitely catch her out. Wicked guitar player and awesome singer, so local girl on a tweener. Throwing to a story now, as you know, the Bombers played Thursday night, but that wasn't the only football in town. Here's Shaw TV's Kim Babbage.
And I'm here to see the Indigo Girls at Folk Fest. They've been around since the 90s, super favorite band of mine.
Hi, I'm John Kendall from Uptown Magazine, and I'm looking forward to seeing the Ducks. I'm looking forward to seeing Romy Mays on the main stage at the Winnipeg Folk Festival. I'm looking forward to seeing Corb Lund and the Hurtin' Albertans, and that's only tonight, Joanne. So I think we'll probably be also looking to see Michael Franti and Spearhead on Friday night. Todd Snyder is playing a pile of workshops all over Birds Hill Park site this weekend, and I'm going to follow him around. I'm going to be Todd Snyder's stalker this weekend.
I haven't decided who I'm going to stalk yet. I'm looking through the list. People I recognize like Romy Mays and that, but a few names that I didn't and I'm dying to see. Well, Joel Plaskett I want to see as well. Tim Easton. There's so many I want to see. Bella Fleck, obviously. We could just sit here and name every act.
Yeah, we could. There are nearly 100 acts at this year's Winnipeg Folk Festival. I want to see about 90% of them, and it's going to be
Elliot Brood. I'm looking forward to seeing Elliot.
Oh, they are absolutely fantastic. Yes, but what I wanted to talk about the Winnipeg Folk Festival was its legacy. This thing is this is the 34th Winnipeg Folk Festival, And there are people who've been coming here since they were kids who picked up guitars and decided to play instruments because they loved folk music and the Winnipeg Folk Festival so much. Those kids who were coming here in the late 70s and early 80s are now all grown up, and they're holding their own as members of their own groups, playing on the main stage here at the Folk Festival. They're being nominated for Grammy Awards. They've got recording contracts, and this is a direct legacy of the impact of the Winnipeg Folk Festival.
Well, the Folk Festival, like as we've shown on Sean, I know you've talked about in Uptown, they really foster the young performers, like not only just with the young performers stage, but throughout the year as well. There's so many big names have come from that.
Absolutely. And tonight we're going to have the opportunity to see the Ducks. We're going to see Rami Mays. Nathan is going to be performing on the main stage through the weekend. And there are a number of other Winnipeg born and bred performers who are going to be here at the festival. There's a guy named Corey Miyanishi who plays old-time banjo that he learned how to play in North Kildonan after coming to the Folk Festival in 1994. And now he's got a recording contract with his act called Dyad. And there's a guy named Glenn Pacha from Southdale who was just on the main stage here tonight playing with his group Olabelle. And he is started out as a jazz musician and has gradually turned into a folk roots musician playing with this New York-based band.
Well, you were saying he got a scholarship?
He got a scholarship to New Orleans to study at New Orleans University with Ellis Marsalis, who is the father of Brantford and Winton and Delfeo and all the other Marsalises. Essentially, he was the patriarch of the modern American jazz tradition. And Glenn got the opportunity as an 18-year-old to go to New Orleans University and become a jazz guy, which he became to the point at which he was playing at the Jazz Winnipeg Festival in one of the headliners bands in the late 1990s. Now he's a folk roots musician playing on the main stage at the Winnipeg Folk Festival. The last time he did it, he was a teenager playing with Papa Mambo in the late 80s.
And all this just to show you that you're going to discover music you've never heard here before, but all of it has these massive roots in folk music, jazz music. This year, Chris Freyer's brought in a lot of hip hop and R&B. It's real folk music.
Oh yeah, you mentioned the alternative kind of stuff that Chris has brought in this year. Chris being the artistic director of the Folk Festival. And an act you have to see is the Ponies, who are going to be playing in the Firefly Palace tent on Friday night. They're from Chicago. Distorted guitar, alternative rock, and an awful lot of young people at the Folk Festival sometimes need a blast of guitar, and they maybe go to the parking lot to get it. Now they can stay in the site and go to Firefly Palace.
One of the things I wanted to talk to you about as well is the Ducks, of course. You mentioned Sarah's going to be, this is her Folk Festival debut with the band, but there's going to be a special, Jesse's making a special appearance as well.
That's right. Jesse Havey, who parted ways with the band back in April, is going to be reuniting with the Ducks and their new singer, Sarah Dugas, during a workshop on Sunday afternoon here. So that will be a special moment, and I urge people, if they're out at the Birds Hill site, to try and catch it, because it's going to be rare that Jesse's going to be performing with the Ducks.
And I'll tell you what else I urge you to do, John Kendall. Get a tan. Take a look at these white gams.
This pale Northern European skin. There's nothing I can do. I'm English. It's in the genes. And thank you so much for that.
Well, they blinded me when I ran into you tonight. So again, bottom line is another year of awesome music. And the thing about the Folk Festival that gets me every year is I mark off the people I know that I'm dying to see. But every year I walk out with CDs from people I've never heard of, who are my new favorites.
Exactly. There is always someone who is a sleeper and sneaks up on you and becomes the buzz act of the festival by about Friday supper time. The thing to do is to go to the beer tent, catch the buzz on who you have to see. And it's like the Fringe Festival in that way. Things come out of the woodwork and emerge as your favorites through the weekend, for sure.
And watch us to see who the buzz is, because we'll be talking about that this weekend as well. But we're going to leave you now. John and I have told you who we're looking forward to seeing. We talked to a few people in the crowd to find out who they're looking forward to seeing, and maybe you'll get some tips on which workshops to attend. Take a look.
We're here to see Corblund. They're so Canadian. We just love them. We've been to 2 of their concerts already, and we just want to get more and more of them.
They're really nice people.
We love seeing them. We love their music. We have all their CDs too.
Yeah.
The Indigo Girls and the Flatlanders. Indigo Girls, because I've always loved them. My wife loves them. We flew to Vancouver 2 years ago to see them. they're just a great band. And Flatlanders like Joe Ely, and I like the music. So
that one guy, because he makes so much music on his own.
Rami Mays.
And why?
Because she's awesome and she's got some great guys working with her, and she's been to Thompson a couple times. She's a good friend of Lisa Ivasics, who's just an awesome friend of mine, and yeah, she knows how to party.
I'm a Folk Festival virgin, so everything is brand new, and I think next year's their 35th year, so I don't know what I've been waiting for. It's so awesome.
By far, Bela Fleck and the Flecktones, and for one reason, 2 words, Victor Wooten, man. Best bass player of all time, by far.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we wanted to give you a quick view of how big this crowd is. And if you've been to the Folk Festival before, you know this is nothing. This isn't even packed yet. There's actually empty tarps and room in here. Say to the camera, guys, and look at that great food they got there too. Jeff and I have already eaten. The food here is awesome. So again, the crowd's already starting to get big, but they're going to be even bigger tomorrow, and the weather is supposed to be amazing. I think 32 on Saturday with a humidex of 42. Jeff is going to die, so make sure you bring your sunscreen and lots of water. We wanted to let you know as well, when you're down at the Folk Festival, there's a place where you can vote on who you think should get the Folk Festival award. Odetta had it last year. I was at that dinner. She gave me goosebumps listening to her. So you can choose who you think should get the award at the Wassail dinner, the Lifetime Achievement. It's an excellent award. The singer-songwriter gets $10,000 and a piece of artwork, and of course the Wassail dinner. You should attend that dinner as well. It's an excellent fundraiser for the Winnipeg Folk Festival. But time to look back and think over who are the legends that have played here and the people who've really touched you, and vote while you're down here. On stage right now, kind of far away because we're far, far off the stage, but that's the John Jorgensen Quintet, who will be playing on a Big Blue Stream a couple of times on Friday actually. So definitely worth checking out as well. I'm going to throw to a couple stories now. In a moment, Shaw TV's Bob Baker will show you something else you can do with the kids, not the Folk Festival, but in town in Winnipeg. And Shaw TV's Kim Babbage shows you how you can donate your old footwear to help people right here in Winnipeg. Now let's leave you with a look at the crowd.
It's one of the biggest summer parties on the prairies, but there's lots of work behind the scenes at the Winnipeg Folk Festival.
Vicky, can I get a runner from...
For the last 10 years, site security has been completely run by volunteers. Originally organized through the Kinsman Club, now more than 180 people donate their time to ensure the event runs smoothly. We donate their time to
parent. We make sure that everyone on site has proper accreditation, just whatever needs to be done.
It's that attention to detail that keeps vendors coming back. Carson Hill has traveled from British Columbia's Queen Charlotte Island to sell his eco-friendly jewelry. With crowds this big, each night his goods are packed away and security keeps a watchful eye.
Oh, it's awesome. The organizers here have done a splendid job there. It's the most organized festival that I do.
This mom says it's a safe weekend of fun for the whole family.
The kids have played instruments from when they were little, and it's just really good exposure to, not just folk music, but all kinds of world music.
There's about 12,000 people expected each day, and while most patrons are polite, security says they have to be ready to deal with just about anything.
Sometimes we deal with the flip side of things, the recreational pharmaceuticals and whatnot, but it's actually a lot more family orientated.
Site security is a 24-hour job with its ups and downs, but organizers say it's no problem getting people to sign up.
Once you start volunteering for the Folk Festival, you find you love it and you come back.
And with 2 days left, they're guaranteed some off time to take in some of the fun. Mira Bahati Singh, Global News.
Last year, it set an all-time attendance record. So even though the numbers are down slightly this year, the Winnipeg Folk Festival is very happy with this year's attendance. 44,791 people, I was the one, made it out to Birds Hill Provincial Park for the festival. That is the third highest attendance ever. Last year's record topped 45,000. The host of CBC Radio's Q, Jian Gomeshi, emceed the main stage. Fine job he did. He's doing a show from Winnipeg today and tomorrow. I caught up with him this afternoon.
You're watching continuous Folk Festival coverage only on Shaw TV.
Hello, my name's Quincy Harris. I live in Taiwan, but I'm a Winnipegger, and I love the Folk Festival. What's your name?
Li
Where are you from?
Taiwan,
What are you doing here?
听音乐.
Ah.
Yeah.
The Folk Festival on Shaw is great.
Welcome to this man here, Tumani Diabate. It is an honor, and I must say, totally inspired by your playing.
Thank you. I'm enjoyed to be here today. Thanks God, it's a lovely day. Everybody's happy, and we're all here just for music, for love, for peace, and for culture. So I think it's very important, because music has been created its own language. The F in the kora is the same F in the piano, and it's the same in Boston. It's the same in West Africa. It's the same in Europe. So music has been created its own language.
And there's such a history between the instrument that you play, the kora, one of the most beautiful instruments here at the Winnipeg Folk Festival, a very strong family tie too.
Yeah, I'm from the 71 generation playing the kora in my family, father to son, father to son, father to son. Thanks God, I won the Grammy Award last year with Alifa Kature. So I'm the first kora players in the world who win also the Grammy, and also the first griot to win. The griot people, we are the memory of Mandinka Empire. So it's honor for me, and I got a chance to play with a lot of great musicians in my life. Taj Mahal, Salif Keita, Alifa Kature, Roswell Road, and the last project I just did was with Björk.
Yes.
Yeah, and we just had a great concert in England at the Glastonbury Festival. So I'm so happy to be in the road because I'm open guys and I want to be like that.
Well, someone said to me that you are the king of world beat music, and just by knowing now all the people that you've played with and touched, that's truly right.
Well, I'm teaching people playing the kora. I'm teaching people about the concert. When I'm playing, it's not only just come to play the music, but the music I'm playing have a histories, have a geography, have a legend. So, I feel ambassador and bridge between Africa and outside of Africa. I'm happy to do that.
So happy, and I know that we are so touched so many times about the sadness in Africa, about the children, and you do a lot of humanitarian work too.
Exactly. Sometimes people don't understand what's going on, and they talk badly about the matters and things. So I get a chance to be outside of my countries and to see a lot of things, to meet a lot of people, and so I just teach also. I give my experience to the audience in Mali, in my countries, about what's going on here outside of the continent. So I just, always told them, okay, look, you have to be yourself, because if you don't do that, no one else cannot come to do that. And if someone come to do that, it will be at the bad ways. So it's your culture, it's your histories, so you have to take care.
Oh, I find hope in your music, Tumani, and I'm so glad that you could share it with all of us here at the Winnipeg Folk Festival.
Thank you. I say thank very much, and much thank to the Winnipeg Festival and all people. We had a very nice time here, we enjoying, and even the driver people, the hotels, and the food, the technicians, very nice, and it's the place to be, really.
We want you to come back.
I want to come back, inshallah. Make it, and I will be back.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tumani.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.
hi Marlene from France. You're watching the Folk Festival on Show TV.
Now I've got a brand new dance. I need one more shot. I just need one last chance. You know I won't get caught. I want to meet my last stand. This time I can't be bought. Then again, on the other hand, how much have you got? I got nothing to lose. There ain't nothing to gain. It's like a one-way ticket to cruise in the passing lane. I can't complain. Feel out of place, feel out of tune, feel lost in space, racing that moon, climbing the walls of a hurricane, still over all. I can't complain. Hey, how are you all? I can't complain.
Todd, can't say enough about the show, but such an amazing singer-songwriter. It's not only the music but the words. How do you do that?
Oh, thanks. I've just been I've been doing it since I was a kid. Just when I get up in the morning to like ease my tension or whatever, I always used to keep journals, and then when I got older, I started making them rhyme. And then when I got older, I started making music to them. Well, I try to tell my girlfriend she's the only one that I got. There's a girl I hardly even know that keeps on telling her that she's not. She's got a loaded pistol, she waves it all the time. She says sometimes you got to kill a boy just to keep his ass in line. At least that's the way she sees it. She said she saw it on the news.
Wanted to come and see you. That's like, what are you here for? I want to hear Todd Snyder. I'm here for Todd Snyder. Yeah, you rock.
That's a nice thing to know. I had a good time. I had a lot of fun. I like coming up here.
You really speak about people and about real things, and it's the story.
Yeah?
And it's funny. I mean, I think we enjoy more of your little dialogues in between.
People say that to me sometimes. Now check this out. I live in Nashville, right? We induct people into stuff like twice a week. So I'm home from the road. Somebody figures out that there's something that Tom T. Hall hasn't been inducted to. They decide to put together some kind of soiree and ask me if I'll come play one of his songs at it. I was so excited I got all dressed up to go. I wore this. And I went down and I played my Tom T. Hall song. Then I'm in the back area where they always let the musicians go when they're done. And there's always like free booze back there. There's like a free towel if you sweat. There's a lot of celery and carrots next to some broccoli with ranch. Everybody thinks we're broke. Nobody realizes what we get in ranch dip a year backstage. So I'm backstage with my free ranch dip and my towel. And I'm sitting with my buddy Peter, and he points over near the free drinks, and he goes, "You see that guy standing by the free drinks?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "You know that song, If Tomorrow Never Comes, will she know how much I love her?" I thought, I love that song, Sensitive Piece. He said, "That guy wrote it." I said, "Oh, let's go hassle him." So we go walking across the dressing room, and I walk up to the guy with my drink, and I said, "If tomorrow never comes." I love that song. And he went, "Oh, thanks." I said, "My name's Todd Snyder." He went, "Oh, Todd Snyder." I said, "Yeah, Todd Snyder." He goes, "I know who you are." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "I had a lot of trouble with you last summer." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "You know that song, Beer Run?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I wrote it too." And in my mind, I'm thinking, man, you took it from me. So I say to this guy, "Man, you took it from me." And he looks up at me and he says, "Hey, not technically." And I said, what do you mean? And he went on to explain the exact rules of how many words you could take in a row without totally taking too many, and how many notes you could take in a row without taking too many, have it be your own song. And I thought, God dang, this guy's a genius, man. This is who should be managing me. Not that guy interrupting my baseball game all the time. And then, as he was walking away, the best part was, as he was walking away, I got this idea for this song that I made up by myself. It's called If Tomorrow Never Comes. If tomorrow never comes, I don't give a damn. If tomorrow never comes, I will not be afraid to meet my maker just the way that I am. You can't prove anything, but one thing's true. If you could steal from me, I can steal from you. Almost everything I say is true. I got all the songs are usually about my friends, and then I tell stories about my friends.
Like the guy that likes to hear train songs.
That's true, yeah. That's true, and he said that to me. He said, I want to die peacefully in my sleep like my grandfather and not screaming and crying like everybody else in the car. I thought that was a funny one.
It was
That's what I
definitely
said tonight, yeah.
And I like it too. You spoke about the kids these days too. There's a lot going on with them.
Yeah, I like them. I like young people today. Well, I try to tell my girlfriend she's the only one that I got. There's a girl I hardly even know that keeps on telling her that she's not. She's got a loaded pistol. She waves it all the time. She says sometimes you got to kill a boy just to keep his ass in line. At least that's the way she sees it. She said she saw it on the news.
One of the most exciting moments was being backstage when the wall blew down, and I was actually holding it up for the rest of the show. So, you know, it's sort of lending a helping hand.
I couldn't tell. I had my eyes closed. I thought something happened.
But anyways, Winnipeg is so glad that you came here. Thanks so much,
Well, thanks
Todd.
for letting me be on the show. What is it? What's it called?
Shaw TV Channel 9.
TV. Well, thanks for letting me be on.
Hi, I'm Jim Holmes. I'm from Regina, and it's hard to say what my favorite thing is about the Winnipeg Folk Festival. It's great. I love the site, I love the music, I love the food. What I like most is finding some musician I've never heard of before and following around and seeing what they're up to. I think of people like Martin Simpson, Martin Sexton. There were a group of guys from Portugal singing traditional Portuguese music. Singers from Tuva, lots of people from South Africa. It's just great. There's so much. There's always a surprise, always something new.
You're watching continuous folk festival coverage only on Shaw TV.
Hi, my name is David Gibson, and I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota. This is my first time at the Winnipeg Folk Festival, and I love it. It's one of the best run and most organized festivals of music that I've been to. Everything is set up to run efficiently and to encourage people to have a good time and to be responsible with their behavior. And people are so friendly here in Manitoba. It's really great.
Hi, I'm David.
I'm Jade.
And I'm Dave too.
And you're watching the Winnipeg Folk Festival on Shaw TV.
Yeah.
Again, another magical moment here at the Winnipeg Folk Festival. Two local girls, though, this time, Sarah Dugas and Jessica Havey, together on stage. Dynamite, dynamo, awesome. Like, I can't believe it. You had the house shaken.
It was great.
Yes.
The gospel workshop's always probably a favorite for some of the performers, the ones that are up there, and I think for the crowd too. It's always so much energy. And
even as a performer being in the crowd, like that's kind of the one that
for sure
I try to go to every year consistently. But
yeah.
Okay, now these girls may look familiar to you because Sarah is like with Madrigaya and Jessica, well, formerly with the Ducks, but now on your own.
Starting to do that thing.
Yes. Sarah, kind of exciting though too because you've done some singing with the Ducks right now, correct?
Yes, that's right.
So it's a little different than being with all girls?
Definitely. Yeah, it's like a fusion band, you know. The transition went well. It was really quick. I basically got the call a couple of weeks before the tour, and but it was great. And yeah, I've had a wonderful time with them, and it changes things up. My life's kind of been, you know, switched around.
Topsy-turvy.
Yeah.
But it's really cool that the two of you are special friends and you can see the magic on stage.
Yeah, I've been saying this to everyone, and to say it on television is extremely appropriate. I, for a while, was like, you know, thinking about moving my way out and thinking about who, if I had my choice. And for a while I was saying of all the singers I know in Canada, and then I was like, no, North America, no. Actually, all the singers that I know, because it's not just about being a singer. This band is about love and respect and like just being grounded human beings and sharing the love. And she was my only choice, and it just like it was fate. Talk about gospel, like God came down and said, "Okay, it's time now. Yeah. You can go. She can come."
It's like one of those weird things where timing was just working out. Perfect. It was on our side, and it really worked out. And you know, it's a courageous thing that I think Jessica did to, you know, move on when she did, and know where she has to be. You know,
yes,
sometimes,
exactly.
yeah.
And it's great to see both of you together on stage. You've got to go, speaking of stages.
Yes.
So go.
All right.
Go. Sarah Dugas, go be a star. Jessica, a few more words, so branching out on your own. What have you been up to then?
Well, I've been up to taking like a break from the music biz for a couple months, which was much needed. I mean, this being my job for 5 years, being constantly surrounded by people, and I'm a very extroverted person, so I can't like be in a crowd and not talk until I lose my voice. So I basically just like locked myself in my house and chilled out with my family. And just now, I'm happy that I can say this to you now. I've booked my first official gig at the Icelandic Days Festival, the Icelandic on August 5th, Sunday, August 5th. I'm not sure what time we're at, but the band it's so perfect. Like, okay, Christian Dugas, Sarah's brother, is it's basically our thing. Like we're the two ones. We're gonna write songs and make it
anchors,
happen.
yes.
Yeah. And if either of us can be considered anchors, I don't know. We're both kind of, but it's gonna be him on drums, and then the rhythm section and keyboardist from Moses Mays, which is so appropriate because that was Scott's old band, like Scott Senior of the Ducks and Sarah Dugas, new singer of the Ducks, brother, who also was the first drummer in the Ducks. Like it's Winnipeg.
It is, yes, that big, that small, but
P.S.
yes.
Do you want to share our history?
No, because it goes way back. I used to teach Jessica dance, but that's another story. Anyways, so happy that you're here, and all the best on your new career.
Thank you so much, Tracy.
And our Shaw TV continuous coverage of the Winnipeg Folk Festival 2007 continues on.
I've been around for long enough to know that everybody needs to sing. No matter if you're all alone, surrounded by 1,000 people with 1,000 things. Because you need to sing, 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 sing.
watching continuous folk festival coverage only on Shaw TV.
Okay, hi, I'm Stefan from Iceland, and you're watching the Folk Festival on Shock TV.
Hi, I'm Kate. I'm Nadia. We're from Manchester, England, and you're watching the Folk Fest on Shaw TV.
Hi, I'm Judy Litterst, and I'm from St. Cloud, Minnesota.
Hi, I'm Larry Litterst, also from St. Cloud.
And this is about our 5th or 6th year here. We usually come with our kids and about 45 in a whole group, 19 in the festival campground. So I think they were rocking last night.
Yeah, 19 tents.
19 tents. And a little grandson who's 2.5, and it's his 3rd festival.
4th if you count the womb.
But we love it here. We love the dancing, we love the camaraderie. The music is fabulous. You can't go to any place. Greatest calamari.
Calamari
fabulous.
is a killer.
But yeah, as I said, we've been coming. It's a family event. It just makes it really fun to be with the kids. The kids are all in their 20s now, and we just really enjoy. One of the young performers, Tierney Kathleen, is a good friend of our daughter's, so we've really enjoyed just about everything here.
And the diversity of music is really cool. It's, you know, if what's playing right now isn't quite your cup of tea, the next one will really get you excited.
Right.
Oh, just one after another on any stage we go to. It's very hard to choose.
Right. And I love the fact that there are the, as was called in the paper, the aging hippies and the neo-bohemians, and so we're trying to figure out where we fit.
I think we know that one.
I think we know that one.
Or maybe aging bohemians.
Aging bohemians, that's where we are. Oh, shoot.
Yeah, it is really a good time.
And we thank the folks of Winnipeg and Manitoba for hosting us. This is just wonderful.
Yes. And the 2,200 volunteers.
Yes.
I really can't believe that you can get 2,200 volunteers.
Yeah.
That's an amazing amount of work out of people. They
Yep.
have big heart and a real commitment to keeping this going.
Mm-hmm. And we'll be going. We're going to be coming again.
Yep. You're
Can't
stuck
kick
with
us
us.
out.
Yep.
You're watching 24-hour Folk Fest coverage exclusively on Shaw TV, Channel 9.
I think we experienced a heavenly moment at the Big Blue STEM stage just moments ago. It's the gospel workshop, and I have right now a hot band called Olabelle. It's a beautiful name, and Glenn, I'm going to let you introduce your band here.
Okay, this is Byron Isaacs from Houston, Texas.
Howdy.
And Tony Leone from Newington, Connecticut. And Amy Helm, who currently lives in Woodstock, New York. And Fiona McBain is from Sydney, Australia.
From all over the world, and a little bit of trivia here. You used to actually live in Winnipeg.
I grew up here, and I still consider myself a Winnipegger, even though I've been gone for almost half my life.
Now, what made you leave Winnipeg?
I moved to New Orleans when I was about 18, 19, to go study down there, study music down there. And I just wound up in New York, and that's where we all met and formed this band.
Now, Glenn, the music is so beautiful. It's folk, it's roots, it's gospel, jazz. There's so much involved.
Yeah, well, we all come from different backgrounds, you know. We love kind of honest music from wherever it's from, and we just try to, you know, write paying homage to that stuff and have fun and just keep on doing it, you know.
What inspires you for music as well, like for writing? You've got a new CD out, it's great, but inspirations?
A lot of, well, just our love for a lot of music, and, you know, we're always, when we get together, it's also a very unique thing because we're all writers, we're all leaders in this band, and the way that greater dynamic affects the music just helps us really come up with new arrangements and new ideas and new songs, so.
And this particular workshop, being up there with the Chocolate Drops, and Nadidi's got an incredible name, incredible voice, but it was so powerful. Like, what was it like for you to be on stage?
Well, had there been rafters, hopefully we would have blown them into the sky. It was very fun. Yeah.
And for yourselves, just singing, I mean, beautiful singing, but when other singers like Jessica and Sarah join in, it makes it a little bit more exciting?
Yeah, it was really, it's a treat always to get to sing with other
women and join in that creative harmony singing with them.
Folk Festival now, your first time here. Favorite moment so far?
Oh, we had a lot of favorite moments. We watched the Indigo Girls, and that was awesome. We watched the Flatlanders, the Michael Franti. But actually, I think, well, for me, one of my favorite times was yesterday at the workshop with Tim Easton and Todd Snyder and Chris Smither, and we all got to play cover songs, and that was my favorite. That was an incredible vibe on stage, and we had a blast.
Now, you are the drummer, and you said that you weren't going to say anything, but now's your chance.
Well, it's just a myth. I'm not really the strong, silent type. I'm the weak, blabbery type.
How did you actually hook up with all these guys?
Well, we all met. We used to hang out in a bar in the East Village in New York that was kind of catered to honky-tonk music, and we started playing there on Sunday nights, and we started to investigate gospel music and old-time music and kind of classic country like Hank Williams and people like that, and Johnny Cash, and we all kind of did the thing.
Did the thing, and I find that kind of interesting. Your type of music coming out of New York, like what is the scene there?
There's a lot of roots music there, yeah, because I mean, Nashville, ironically, has a lot of country music that's very glossy and poppy. You know, it's kind of the Music Row is there, and that's kind of caters to like keeping that alive. And so a lot of people who are doing alternative country things are in a lot of different places, Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, because there's these pockets of great players and people who want to really seek the tradition and do something new with it, you know.
Exactly, and well, we just had the big jazz festival. Pink Martini played, and they're all from Portland. Who would think? But they said it's cheap. It's great. There's great music there and great musicians, so
Yeah,
why
Portland's
not?
a great town, yeah. I mean, I really miss, the thing about living in Winnipeg is everybody's got a basement, you know, so we consume lots of beer and other substances and played a lot of music when I was a kid here, so.
Well, things haven't changed, Glenn.
Good.
The Basement Band continues on. It's Ola Bell, get their new CD. Our Shaw TV 2007 Winnipeg Folk Festival coverage continues.
Okay, hi, I'm Stefan from Iceland, and you're watching the Folk Festival on Shock TV.
Hi, my name is Deborah Anderson. I'm from Minneapolis, and I'm here at the Winnipeg Folk Festival, and my favorite thing is getting a #1 to be able to get at the front with the tarp run.
Awesome. And I'm Janine. I live in Minneapolis, and I love being at the Folk Festival. I love everything about it, especially the food. Maybe there's some food in my face, I'm not sure. And I'm very proud of my husband, John, who's from Winnipeg.
Originally.
And he rode. He's back all the way from Minneapolis. It's his 3rd time, and he's awesome. He made it, and we're loving it here.
Well, the tents are coming down at Birds Hill Park, and the musicians are on their way back home. The Winnipeg Folk Festival wrapping up after 4 days of excitement. Organizers are calling it a roaring success. Close to 63,000 people attended the event. Camping at the festival saw an all-time record this year with a total of 6,631 happy campers hunkering down in the festival's 2 campgrounds. Organizers credit the weather and growing enthusiasm for the success of the event.
And this year's Winnipeg Folk Festival is now in the history books, and organizers say it was a roaring success.
You said you never made a promise.
Final figures are in, and they are impressive. 44,791 people paid for tickets to this year's Folk Festival. Now, this is just 414 people under last year's record-setting attendance figures. Organizers say the weekend went off without a hitch and say great walk-up sales on Saturday helped to pad the high numbers. Now the Folk Fest may be done, but the work is far from complete. Next few weeks, people will be tearing down and cleaning up the festival site. After that, they'll roll up their sleeves and begin planning for next year.
Isn't quite your bag, but you like great music, well, there's so much happening. We have a big CD release party. That young lady you just saw was performing at the Young Performers stage all through a great weekend of the Folk Festival. And here she is live, Lindsay White.
Hi.
Hi, welcome back again. You know, the Folk Fest, let's talk about that right now.
So awesome.
Yes.
So incredible.
What did you like the best?
I have to say I was most blown away by a band called the Cat Empire. They are so fantastic. I'd only heard a little snippet of them and I thought, yeah, they're good, so what? But if you catch their live show, it's just to die for. They were absolutely unbelievable live, just amazing. And Michael Franti and Spearhead as well. Both of those acts on the main stage at night were just ridiculous.
Now, what about your big performance at the Folk Festival, part of the Young Performers stage?
Fun. Oh, Tracy, it was awesome. There was so many other local Winnipeg musicians, young people such as myself. I call myself young because I can do it for only so long, right? But anyway, we were just jamming on stage, having a blast. We played some of my songs, some of their songs, some covers. We had the crowd like standing and clapping and singing, and it was just so much fun. Like, how often do you get a chance to do stuff like that, you know?
I don't know, but you have a lot of energy, girl, because it is your big CD release party. That's why we're here, July 12th, Thursday at the Park Theatre.
Yeah.
And the brand new album is called This Is
Now. This is now. Yeah, it's happening Thursday at the Park Theatre, 8 p.m. It kicks off with Serena Postel, actually. She's another local artist. They call her Winnipeg's Firecracker for a reason. She's just absolutely explosive on stage. So if you come early, you'll get to catch her. She's awesome. She'll be playing right at 8, and then the band and I will come on right after that.
Okay, so quickly talking about the new CD. What does it sound like?
That's a very long-winded answered question. It sounds like a mix of folk, funk, and rock with a heavy blues influence.
Just like you.
I would hope to think so, yes, but I don't know. I think that you're just going to have to listen to it and tell me what you think, because people seem to have different ideas of what it sounds like. There's some singer-songwriter stuff on there. There's some really funky grooves. There's some blues. It's kind of a big mishmash of stuff. So people say, what do you sound like? And I don't know. I'd say folk, funk, rock with blues.
Yes, well, all you have to do is just create your own category. And
Yes, I sound like me.
You sound like Lindsay White. Yes, yes. Well, we are going to hear a song from the new CD, but quickly, being through the Young Performers stage, now getting your first debut CD out, how much did you learn from being a participant in that program?
So much, in fact. Various years you get to work with different mentors. I remember working with Ruthie Foster, who is like an awesome live performer. This year I had the opportunity to work closely with Leonard Podolak of the Ducks, and everybody kind of gives you a different feel, but through the whole process, I think you just learn so much about the business even, and about yourself and your music, and it's kind of gone in a completely different direction than I thought it would, which is great. But yeah, there's a lot to learn, and I only know a small percentage of it. I'm still kind of getting this thing off the ground and figuring out what I'm doing. So if anybody has any ideas for me, let me know.
Well, the door's wide open. You just have to walk on through. You're going to play us out with a song. What will it be?
Yeah, I'm going to do an acoustic version of the first cut on the CD. It's called Big Rig.
Big Rig, Lindsay White. Check her out on her website, lindsaywhite.com.
lindsaywhite.com, and it's Lindsay with an E. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Here she is, Lindsay White.
Come now, you don't really believe that, do you? Have I ever steered you wrong before? Okay, so there was that one time in Bermuda, but I warned you to stay close beside me along the shore. Last one, make it count when all this hullabaloo